But rise up. That time.
It's going to be loud in Ho Chi Minh on a Monday night as the Saigon Heat now open their semifinals matchup against the Singapore Slingers. Again, this is a best-of-3 affair, and 2 wins gets you into the finals. Saigon Heat have never been to the ABL Finals, and this is their best opportunity to do that. Noel Zarate working with Coach Jordan Collins, and Ben Ibrahim is going to be joining us in just a few moments. Tell us about the atmosphere here, Coach, coming into this game.
Oh, it's loud and electric, man. They got the fans are coming in. It's already loud and electric. They have their sticks ready to go.
And before we go, of course, Ben Ibrahim is going to talk to one of the members of the Singapore Slingers. Ben Ibrahim with Larry Liu.
Thanks very much, guys. We're here with Larry Liu. And Larry, the last time during the regular season, both games were split. It was ever so close. How close will tonight be?
Hopefully tonight it won't be close, but whoever wants it more, I think we will win tonight's game for sure.
You're very confident of winning tonight's game. In terms of what kind of brand of Singapore Slingers basketball can we expect tonight?
Normally Singapore brands of basketball will be defense. We'll go hard on defense first, then after that offense will come naturally after that.
Defense to offense, we wish you all the best. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ben Ibrahim there with Larry Liu. And of course, he was right. You know, the series is split so far. It was a 1-point win by Singapore over in Singapore, but it was a come-from-behind 3-point win for the Saigon Heat here in this building. It took the heroics of Evan Gilliard and Hassan Thomas to get things done. And speaking of Hassan Thomas, he is now again with Ben Ibrahim.
We're here with the mean, lean fighting machine, Hassan Thomas. Hassan, you're really primed and ready to go. Tell us about the heat, the fire-upness, if that's a word, of this Saigon Heat team in front of this massive crowd.
You see it, we always have the great fan support coming out, so we just want to come out, give them a show, and obviously win the game.
Now, last time you met the Singapore Slingers, you split during the regular season. It was ever so close. Why was it so close then, and why will it be close tonight?
Like you said, every game has came down to around 2 possessions, so tonight we're just going to focus on taking care of the ball, knowing that this game could come down to 1 or 2 possessions. So,
well, we wish you all the best. Hope for a close game. Thank you, brother. Back to you.
All right, with Ben Ibrahim there was Hassan Thomas, who was one of the heroes of the win here. Remember that Singapore had an 8-point lead with about 3 minutes remaining in this building. That completely silenced the crowd, but then Evan Gilliard hit a big transition 3, and of course that dunk by Hassan Thomas put the game beyond reach. But again, this is a very well-coached team. We're talking about the Singapore Slingers. Coach Neo Beng Shak has taken this team to the finals several times. In fact, in the franchise's history in the ABL, the Singapore Slingers have been to the finals 4 times. What's it going to take for them to make it a 5th time to the finals?
They're a very experienced team. They had to follow the game plan the coach had laid out for them. They have Xavier Alexander is a very, very experienced player to follow his lead. Delvin Gold is an experienced national team player. They have good players.
But of course, one of the leading contenders for most valuable players also on the Singapore Slingers side. We're talking about Kentrell Barkley. He has just transformed the way this team is run. His speed, his quickness, and his accuracy from beyond the arc.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of the way he plays. Kind of reminds me of James Harden. 3-pointers into the rim, attacking at all times. He's a very exciting player.
And let's see if he can actually step up. Of course, they are going to be looking at their big man, Chancellor Geddes, 7-foot center, plays around the rim. Sort of reminds you of an old school player, if you will, like a George Mikan, just likes to operate around the rim. He will not take a 3-point shot as much as possible, but he is the largest, he's the biggest player here. I don't think anybody in Saigon can match up against him in terms of height.
Because he has to have a good night tonight, rebounding the basketball and being efficient scoring around the rim.
Now, of course, when it comes to Singapore Slingers, they've always leaned on their locals. You know, Larry Liu, who Ben Ibrahim talked with earlier, Delvin Goh, Kelvin Lim. I mean, the list goes on and on. How big will the local contribution be here for Singapore to try and to steal one on the road?
I mean, they've seen it all before with their locals. They're very experienced players from the national team to ABL finals, so they've seen it all. They'll be ready to play.
Well, of course, for the Saigon Heat, we're going to have the player introductions in just a bit. We're going to talk about them after we come back from the player introduction. So at this point, of course, the Saigon Heat, the #1 seed, the Singapore Slingers, had to go through the eye of a needle to make it to the playoffs. They had to defeat the Zamboanga Valientes to make sure that they advance to the playoffs. So they are the 4th seed. Saigon, of course, has not lost in this building. Came close against the Singapore Slingers, so this makes for a very interesting matchup between these two teams. And we now have the introduction of the players from the Saigon Heat and the Singapore Slingers. The drums have gone off. I don't know if you can still hear us at this point. Oh my goodness, this place is loud. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were here, we witnessed these two teams battle, and now it's for a place in the final. Of course, this is the best of three. Kentrell Barkley, we talked about him, 27.4, 10.7 rebounds, and a league-leading 6.4 assists a game.
Good all-around player, good scorer, good attacker. The Slingers put a lot of faith in him.
I'm going to try to listen to you very carefully as we try to make it out after these noisy thundersticks. But there's Kentrell Barkley. A lot of people are saying he is the front runner for the most valuable player award, and you can't argue with that as well.
Yeah, league leading scorer, does a great job for the Slingers, does a little bit of everything, always in attack mode. Has had a great season for the Slingers.
You liken him to a James Harden because he's a lefty. You see a lot of Rod Strickland in him as well, with the way he can handle the rock. He's going to be leaned on a lot, but so is Jarius Holder. I mean, Holder's got 20 points a game, only 4.5 rebounds, but in terms of rebounding, Saigon does it as a team.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys around the same size, 6'7", 6'6", 6'8", so they rebound as a team.
Jarius Holder, Jeremy Combs, and of course Evan Gilliard, the triumvirate, if you may, here for the Saigon Heat. Again, looking for their first finals appearance. They have not been to the finals in their history here in the ABL. This is their best chance to do it here at home. That is the matchup that we will be looking forward to. But I like to see the matchup between Evan Gilliard later on and, of course, Kentrell Barkley. When they guard each other, it's going to be speed on speed, quickness on quickness, high basketball IQ against high basketball IQ.
Yeah, Good is a tremendous player. That's fast attacking guard, knows how to lead his team well, senses the big moment, can make big plays.
Now, Singapore has been in this situation before. They have faced adversity many times, and there's the guy we're talking about there, Evan Gilliard. I mean, what a big shot he hit in transition. They were down by 8. He led the comeback and gave them the lead at about the 2-minute mark. And then, of course, they never looked back in that win. There's our officiating crew, of course. Our crew chief from Malaysia, Jonathan Garcia from the Philippines, and from Hong Kong here as well. This is a loud place, and pardon us if we don't hear each other too much coming into this game, but talk about what Singapore needs to do. They are the veteran team. They have a lot of components from their championship runs in the ABL. Neo Beng Shak, of course, has been at the forefront of all of that. So what is the key now for Singapore to snare one here against Saigon?
Singapore just has to control, play with poise and composure. Don't worry about the fans. They're going to be loud. You know it's going to be loud in here, but just play their game and stay focused for 40 minutes.
And Matt Van Pelt, of course, transitioning now from player to coach right here. One of the younger coaches that we have here, his experience as a player transitions now to the coaching side. But what does Matt Van Pelt need to do to get things done here for the Saigon Heat? As we take a look at the starters here for the Singapore Slingers, of course, with Alexander, Larry Liu, Geddes, Barkley, and Delvin Go. That's their usual fare right there. But again, going back to Saigon, what do they need to do to secure win number 1 here in the semis?
I think they play off the crowd's energy. They just have the home court for a reason. They're a number 1 seed. They played well all season. And it's not one superstar player. They've been playing 5 and 6, 7 guys. They continue to do all day, continue to play together.
There you go, Evan Gilliard, Jarius Holder, Jeremy Combs, again the triumvirate. Hassan Thomas, of course, does play as a local, and they are starting off with a big guy here, Win Fu Vin, who is actually more of an outside shooting specialist. You've coached against him, Coach Jordan. What does he bring to the table besides his length and his accuracy?
He's able to space the floor. Like, most big guys can't shoot like him, so most big guys, he guards are big and they want to stay in the rim. So every once in a while, when he pops out and wide open, he makes it more times than not.
Feels more like an NBA starting lineup with the size that they're going to be having here in terms of the advantage against the Slingers. But again, this is anybody's game, as we talked about it here. 1-point win for Singapore at home. 3-point win, come from behind fashion for Saigon in this building. It all comes down to this in a 3-game series. They split the season series, but then you throw all those stats, all those results out the window. What's important today, Coach Jordan Collins, is what happens today here in Game 1.
They have to try to take advantage of what they do well. Both teams are good basketball teams. They have to try to pour into themselves. Play as a team, don't worry about it, stay together.
Moments away from tip-off here, Singapore in their road black jerseys. And of course for the Saigon Heat in the white and yellow. Boy, this game hasn't even started. The crowd's already on a fever pitch here. Hasn't even started yet.
It's going to be loud in here all game.
No, they did a survey, and I told this to Coach Todd Burke before. They did a survey a couple of years ago. Well, I think it was 2018, 2019. Which city or which ABL team has the loudest fans? And by far was unanimous, Saigon Heat.
Saigon Heat by far. They love basketball here in Vietnam. The teams are always play well, so they love it.
First possession will be a re-jump, as they say. So the possession arrow comes immediately in favor of the Singapore Slingers. There is Matt Van Pelt. I don't know if you played against Coach Matt when he was still playing here.
Yeah, I played against Coach Matt in 2017. We were both playing in Thailand at the time.
Yeah. So finally we are underway here. Lots of noise here. Chancellor Geddes gets the first possession in the post, working against one-on-one coverage there, and Geddes able to get the first 2 points of the game.
Like we talked about before, nobody's going to be able to match up with his size down there. That was a nice move by him.
So what is the rebuttal here coming from the Saigon Heat? That's going to be a jumper right off the bat.
Nice handoff play, nice shot. Looking to get involved there.
Gilliard gets the first 2 points of the game. That's definitely not going to be his last score. Noise immediately here. Geddes gets it out to the legend, Xavier Alexander, who fires an early three. Can't get it done. One of the all-time leading scorers in league history. Gilliard now tries to get the baseline. Three-pointer, oh, in and out. Coming there from Combs. So let's see what they try to execute here. They want to get Xavier Alexander hot early. Remember the last game, Alexander only became a factor in the second half.
Saigon Heat switching all the screens between the imports.
Right. Larry Liu had an open look, passed up on it, moves closer. Baseline J is good. Remember that Larry Liu had only one field goal in their game against the Saigon Heat last time they met. Good start for the veteran. And here's Combs. Tries to get the speed advantage over Geddes and goes underneath his defense.
That's the advantage that Combs has over the big guy. One big guy's size, Combs has the ability to go around him.
So far, they've just been trading jabs at this point. Here's Chancellor Geddes trying to handle the ball against Hassan Thomas. They drop down to a zone. Geddes tries to get it inside, and look at the quickness of Evan Gilliard. I mean, this guy is actually unguardable when it comes to the open court.
Yeah, Gilliard's everywhere on defense and offense. Saigon Heat is switching everybody about 6'8", 6'7". They're just switching every screen except Gilliard.
Quick inbound now to Geddes. 9 on the shot clock now for the Singapore Slingers. Barkley has not looked for his offense yet. Finally fires a three and he nails it.
Nice move by Gilliard. Tough left-handed three-pointer.
So 7-4 Slingers on top early here. Under 8 minutes remaining in the first. Combs on the long pass inside. And Vin Phu lost the ball. Barkley in the open court. Missed the layup, tries to follow up. Alexander is going to get fouled.
Singapore Slingers on the attack. First Barkley, then Alexander offensive rebound.
Now the question is, I went down to the court earlier, Coach Jordan, and tried to feel the atmosphere. Talking to Coach Matt Van Pelt, it was very loose on the side of the Saigon Heat. With the Singapore Slingers, no one was smiling. It was all business-like down there.
Very serious, but they've been here before. They know what it takes, and they're going to try to get it done today.
Alexander, how many times has he shot free throws against the hostile crowd? As you can see there, Michael Johnson to the left of Coach Neil Deng shot. Boy, these two have been together for a very long time. Alexander knows what to do with free throws against a crowd like this. Biggest lead so far for Singapore, 9-4.
Zone defense by Singapore.
And it's extending the zone defense, trying to slow down the execution for the Heat. And there's going to be Larry Liu, who was caught in a mismatch that time. And he's going to give up the foul. Larry Liu, of course, one of the veterans, a member of the Singapore national team, has been with the Slingers for, I'd like to say, about 7 or 8 years already.
Very experienced player. He knows what he's doing out there.
And here's a quick release. Hassan Thomas tried his hand at a three-pointer, not there. A chance to increase the lead right now for Delvin Joe and the rest of the Slingers. They get inside. Yeah. Geddes, his pass, a little too strong. Alexander still able to recover, can't score. Good interior defense led by the local Vin Phu.
Vin Phu has such great size down there. If he just puts his hands up, he's almost 9 feet tall.
He's like, what, a solid 6'8", you'd think?
6'9".
Yeah, 6'9". Yeah, it's a very tall starting lineup here. For Coach Matt Van Pelt, 14 on the shot clock, 7:03 remaining in the first. Alexander on the inbound. Barkley receives, gets it out. Delvin Gall has extended his range, but wants to pound it inside. Can't get the left hand layup to drop, but he tips it in.
Nice move, way to stay with it. Local on local attacking each other.
Right, Singapore now up by 7, 11-4. A quick move here by Holder.
Nice quick post that move by Holder, great shot.
Darius Holder sporting the manimal look coming into this game. Barkley with a set shot 3. Can't get it to drop. Battle for the rebound. Liu touched that one last. And that's what Evan Gilliard does to you. He may be small, but he's so pesky. You can't box him out.
He's feisty. He's very athletic. I think he can still dunk at this size too.
Right.
Very, very athletic.
It's about 5'10", 5'11".
I would say smaller. Well, he does know how to play.
He is being watched by Barkley. This is a good matchup. Jeremy Combs now against Chancellor Geddes. And coming off a screen, three-pointer gone!
He picks his spots to get the ball, but when he does, he's very efficient.
Larry Liu, three-pointer not there. Tip in is good for Barkley. And he's complaining that he got hit on the head. But so far, so good for the Slingers. They're dictating the tempo so far.
This is going to be a battle. They want to play slow and grind it out. Saigon wants to play fast.
Less than 6 minutes remaining here in the first. Gilliard getting it to the side. Hassan Thomas 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Alexander now in transition. Delvin Gall puts it on the floor. One man to beat. Reverse layup not there. Battle for the rebound. Look at the long arms of Fu Bin.
Nice strong rebound by Fu Bin.
Here's Holder. Lost the ball. Good defense by Larry Liu.
Wow, it was amazing. I didn't think he was going to stay with him. Pushed him to the baseline and slid his feet well.
Right, long arms by Larry Liu, and I can keep telling the story. He started out with the Saigon Heat when he was about 6'1", 6'2", or make that the Singapore Slingers, 6'1", 6'2", had a growth spurt. He's closer to 6'6" right now, but he's still playing guard. Alexander looking for Geddes at the post once again. Liu pops out of the screen. Tries to get it outside to Delvin Gall. And they cannot keep possession on their side. So again, Fin Vu has been involved in the defense twice already.
Fin Vu has been very, very key on defense so far. I'm looking for him to find an open shot eventually.
He's their version of Tony Choka.
Absolutely. Same size.
Coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Singapore Slingers have not relinquished the lead. 13-9, and this is what Coach Neil Bengshot wants, a grinded out pace. Gilliard wants to speed things up, going cross court to no one in particular. They say Singapore touched it last with 7.8 to shoot.
If you notice that time when Gilliard came off the handoff, he was double teamed this time. No open shots for him.
Gilliard will trigger it in. No consistent source of offense yet for the Saigon Heat. They're going to go inside now. Hassan Thomas was blocked from behind, and he'll recover, and a foul is going to be called on Xavier Alexander. Even on fouls, the crowd applauds.
They love their basketball here in Vietnam.
And you were asking me a question earlier, do I like it better here on the CIS? I like it better here because there's air conditioning that you can feel. Outside attempt, still not there. Delvin Gall finally secures it now. Chance of defense now. Geddes working against his own defense. There's that hook shot.
Nice defense by Combs to just stand him up.
Remember that Geddes hit 3 consecutive hook shots the first time they went up against each other in this building. Gilliard forced up an early 3. Now, if you're Matt Van Pelt, you want to see them run the offense more than some quick shots like that.
You want to see them run the shots early, run the offense early. It looks like good quality shots. But Gilliard can't hit that. I think Coach Matt gets him the green light to do that sometime.
4:20 remaining here in the first. This is what Singapore wants, a low-scoring, grinded-out game, and they're getting it so far. Geddes died on the shot clock, trying to go back door here for Barkley, who's picked up by Vin Phu. Barkley knows he has a speed advantage, but gives it up. Geddes with a rare 3. Yes!
Nice shot by the big fella. Had to spread the floor.
That is a rare three-point make. Geddes actually had a buzzer beater 3 against Hong Kong Eastern the last time we were here. So that ups the lead to 7 once again. 16-9. 3:43 remaining here in this first quarter. Hassan Thomas inside. Great pass to Combs.
Nice pass there by Thomas, but he keep his head up and see the floor.
3.5 remaining here in the first. Singapore 16, Saigon 11. Alexander has not held the ball enough on offense so far. Now facing up against Hassan Thomas. They get it out on the ball reversal now. Delvin Go this time left open for 3. Can't get it to go.
Saigon has so much size out there on defense right now.
One shot allowed only for the Singapore Slingers. Here's Evan Gilliard. Can't turn the corner. And here's the matchup now between the two bigs. Holder on the extra pass. Hassan Thomas for the layup.
Great pass by Holder. Nice dive to the basket by Hassan Thomas.
And there's free throw coming up, so that's going to be an end one opportunity here for Hassan Thomas as we send it now to Ben Ibrahim.
Thanks very much, guys. So Coach Matt Van Pelt telling his team to square up and stay with it, especially in transition. That's why they were trailing, well, by a big margin in the earlier part of the game. Coach Neo Beng Siang, no surprise, he is asking his team to press, and he believes they have the fitness to do it. And one thing about the Saigon Heat team, I have to add a great local story here. Win-Win, Phu Ven. I'll just repeat that name again. Win-Win, Phu Ven, getting some critical rebounds, which is giving the whole Saigon team, Pete, a real lift because he is the local live wire of this team. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ben Ibrahim. Of course, Phu Ven, we still haven't seen him go on offense, but he has been a factor so far defensively, and that could be a surprise to the Slingers, the way Phu Ven has been playing defense today.
I've been impressed with his size and effort. Defense all about hard effort. He's playing with that right now to help his team.
And the decibel level has gone up here, Coach Jordan.
Yes.
You were saying something.
Basketball level has really, really gone up.
So right now with 2.5 remaining in the first quarter, suddenly it's a close game, 16-13.
Alexander has to be careful down there. He has 2 fouls.
Right. Offensive foul called here. That's going to go against Combs trying to post up on Xavier Alexander, who is a master of drawing offensive fouls.
Nice experienced player.
Matt Van Pelt working the referees early here. That's one of your jobs as a head coach, to make sure that the referees, call it on both ends. But that time it was obvious that Jeremy Combs extended his arm.
Absolutely. Combs extended his arm. He didn't need to, but he extended it a little bit.
We're approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Xavier Alexander, 2 points, no field goals so far. Larry Liu had 1 field goal earlier, can't add to that. And again, 1 shot allowed for Singapore.
Team rebounding by Saigon. Everybody goes to the rim and rebound.
There's the drive now. Nobody's stopping Combs.
Saigon loves to play in transition.
Suddenly that lead is down to just 1. 6 unanswered points now as Hassan Thomas will be whistled for this. Just the 3rd team foul for Saigon. And it's a non-shooting foul as well, as we see it here again. He had his arm wrapped around Kentrell Barkley. I mean, that's a tough assignment on the switch to get Barkley if you're Hassan Thomas.
Yeah, Barkley's such an experienced, elusive player with the ball. He plays off the ball, with the ball, on the ball. He's everywhere, so he's a hard person to guard out there.
That's right. Minute 47 to go here in the first. Barkley still being watched by Thomas. Chancellor Geddes now goes to the hook shot once again. That's usually automatic, but not today. Gilliard pushing it up once again. They're working inside to Thomas, and there's the first dunk of the game.
Saigon loves to play in the fast break. Nice dunk, nice pass, everybody.
8 unanswered points now for Saigon, and they have the lead 17-16. This crowd has been electrifying so far. Barkley wants to silence this noise. Can't get it done. And once again, 1 shot allowed for Singapore.
Saigon is doing a great job of gang rebounding.
Combs can't shoot it. Gilliard had Thomas open earlier. They work the post once again. Holder. They get it out this time. There's the 3-point attempt. In and out for Phu Ven.
Nice shot, though. He'll make that shot. In and out, great shot.
Lead is still 1 here for Saigon as we close down here in the first quarter. 35 seconds to go. Delvin Goal on the spin. Attracts a double team. There's that hook shot. Patented move by Delvin Goal.
It's a nice move right there. Took his time, got to where he wanted to be, stepped through the double team, delivered this hook shot.
He's been with the Singapore Slingers for at least 6 years. And he has really blossomed with this team. Also a member of the Singapore national team. Now about a 2-second difference between the clocks as Evan Gilliard wants to make sure that the Heat take the last shot. Gilliard drives. Gilliard challenging the defense and gets it to go plus the foul.
I tell you, Gilliard always picks the right time to pick his moments. He picked the right time to attack when he saw the crease and they got there and scored it.
And the speed by Evan Gilliard, that is one of the most unguardable moves in the ABL today. So he gets the lead back for Singapore. And we're going to have Kelvin Lim check in for the same time, for the first time here, as Tim Wall is also seeing his first action here for Saigon.
Another one of Saigon's young, great big men, great defensive player.
One of the hard workers for the Heat, and it is quiet suddenly here. That's it. It's as if you're about to punt in golf. That's what it feels like. 4 seconds remaining here in the first. Kelvin Lim getting it back to X. Alexander lets it fly. Good if it goes. Almost. But at the end of the first 10 minutes of action, the Saigon Heat have clawed back from 7 points down to lead 20-18 against the Singapore Slingers. Game 1 of the semifinals in the ABL Basketball League Invitational Tournament. We'll be right back for quarter number 2. Close game so far here in the first between the Saigon Heat, the number 1 seed, and the Singapore Slingers, 20-18 for the home team. Noel Zarate here alongside Coach Jordan Collins, and it has been so close that we don't even need to look at the numbers. Both teams are just trying to grind this one out so far, Coach.
It's a very competitive game, going back and forth. Both teams are playing to their strength. It's a back and forth game so far.
But you get a feeling, of course, that Singapore is enjoying the pace that we have. It's a bunch of home half-court games that we've been seeing here. Not too much in terms of transition, where the Heat really thrive. So even if they're down by 2, actually Singapore had a 7-point lead earlier. Here's Gilliard, hoping to change all of that. Kwat Chan in the game for the first time. Can't bank in the 3. Barkley in transition. Kelvin Lim, one man to beat, and he gets it to go.
Nice look up in transition by Barkley. Good finish.
Tied at 20 right now. 3-pointer on its way. That is good for Jarius Holder.
He's the shooter of the team.
Jarius Holder giving Saigon now a 3-point lead. 23-20. Alexander asking for movement here as he works against a smaller Kwat Chan. Getting inside, Kelvin Lim. Hook shot good. 2 for 2 to begin the game off the bench for Kelvin Lim.
Nice drive, man. Nice attack to run. Good layup. Good finish.
Lots of fundamentals there as we have another turnover here. Barkley, slam dunk, good! Lead goes back to the Slingers. Thomas, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Got a good shot right there. Gave up a turnover.
Right now, Kentrell Barkley trying to lose the defense. Moving it around right now to Kelvin to make that to Larry Liu. Geddes, nothing happening in the offense here. So Larry Liu decides to take a leisurely three-point shot, and he nails it as we send it over now to Ben Ibrahim.
Thanks very much, guys. Matt Van Pelt, very clear in the first quarter break, reminding the players that Delvin Go and Xavier Alexander are in foul trouble. He's sending on Tim Waller, the local hero, to guard Delvin Go, force him into more foul trouble. So that was the key message. Whereas message to the Singapore Slingers is hit this team in transition. You have the speed to do it. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ben Ibrahim. And boy, this place is starting to explode right now with every positive effort that the Saigon Heat have, although they are still down by 2 points. Larry Liu puts it on the floor. Gets it out. Chancellor Geddes, another three. Boy, oh boy, has he extended his range.
Wow, nice shot by the big fella. I didn't know he had that.
Nobody did except for the Singapore Slingers. Another transition three. Good again! And this time, it looks like it's a little bit of a limp. Looks like he got hurt coming down, talking about Jarius Holder.
Jarius Holder, great shooter. Hope he's okay.
Suddenly, from what has been a low-scoring game, the offense has picked up for both teams, and 2 free throws coming up for Xavier Alexander. Foul called on Kua Chan.
Alexander playing to his strength. He knows he has a smaller local, so he could drive the ball to the rim.
That's probably one of the reasons that Matt Van Pelt put him on, put Kua Chan on Xavier Alexander, try to slow him down. Giving up about 2 to 3 inches, of course. Alexander about 6'5". Kua Chan probably at around 6 feet. I'm being generous with the 6 feet for Kua Chan.
Yeah, he's about 6 feet. He's also very close to a charge call, so Kua played good defense there. Alexander's going to have to be careful. He already has 2.
Alexander with 2, Delvin Go with 2. But Alexander is also perfect at the line, 3 for 3 so far today. That's where all his points have been generated. Slingers also up by 3, 31 to 28. Oh, broadcaster's curse right there, sir. Gilliard. That's a tough assignment for Kelvin Lim, trying to stay in front of Evan Gilliard. Holder hit 2 transition threes, asked for a screen from Wall. Holder feeling it now for the Heat.
Got to push up a Holder. He can really shoot when he gets his feet set.
3 3-pointers in the game. For Jarius Holder, he's got 13 so far to lead all scorers. Chancellor Geddes has hit 2 3-pointers, and that is batted from behind by Hassan Thomas. But his hook shot, his bread and butter shot, he's 0 for 2 with that one.
He's got to take his time down there. They're playing great defense on him.
Larry Liu now inbounding with 8.1 to shoot. Geddes, 5 on the shot clock. Liu has to put this one up. Now for the rebound, nobody boxing out Kelvin Lim, and usually Tim Wall is good at that, but he didn't do it that time.
Yeah, Tim Wall got caught in no-man lane. They thought they were going to throw it to the big. He was already in the help side. Couldn't get back to his man to box out in time.
Second team foul for the Saigon Heat with 6:42 remaining here in the first half. We have a tied game, thanks, of course, to the timely sniping of Jarius Holder. Looks like he's okay after taking the hit after his last 3-pointer. Set shot 3 once again. And Barkley, nice offensive rebound picked up there by Xavier Alexander for the reverse layup.
Great rebound, great move by Alexander.
Lead goes back to Singapore, 33 to 31. That's going to be a walk on Holder. Good defense by Larry Liu.
Great defense. Just stayed with him, made him put the ball down the floor. He's already made 2 threes or 3 threes, like we said. Made him put it on the floor that time. Got to stop.
We're going to have Ma come into the game for the first time here for the Singapore Slingers. This is Ma Jun Hao. Sometimes he's actually their point forward. So let's see if he gets that job done. So far, Xavier Alexander has been handling the ball for the Singapore Slingers. 6:20 remaining here. Alexander on a pull-up. That's a leisurely shot. You got to stay in front of the X-Man.
Yeah, it seemed like Saigon was confused right there what defense they were in.
Gilliard leaving Geddes, but can't get the shot to go. Good challenge there by Alexander. Barkley hasn't needed to score so far. It's been a team effort. Ma, 3-pointer. And the rebound picked up by the Heat. Less than 6 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. 35 Singapore, 31 Saigon. Another three on its way. Good challenge that time by the defense. Oh, almost. And they do get the ball back. Looks like, I believe that is Kwa Chan, who's on the floor grimacing in pain. He might have gotten an inadvertent elbow. We see it here again, Coach.
Now, two great players going for the ball. Got a little elbow to him. Alexander's really, really lucky they didn't give him his third foul on that one, though.
They're going to call an out-of-bounds play. Singapore, or make that Saigon gets the ball back. Boy, Kwa Chan, I mean, I've seen this guy in action in international competition. He just really dives for everything. He's always there. You can call him Mr. Everywhere if you want.
Very, very tough competitor.
But you call him Wiggles.
I do call him that sometimes.
Well, Wiggles is okay. Wall gets the inbounds pass now over to Gilliard, who picks up Kelvin Lim on the mismatch. They get it out. Kwa Chan, is he okay? Ah, that's what hit the shot clock, though.
Nice shot. Stepped into him with rhythm.
And he was given the open look there as well. So I believe he's 6 feet, but if you include the hair, he could be about 6'4".
Yeah, he has a very unique hairstyle.
He's hiding the Jets in there somewhere. Matt Van Pelt getting a warning now from referee Jonard Garcia. Matt Van Pelt, one of the more animated coaches, but I've yet to see him called for a technical foul.
He was like that when he was playing. He's always animated. He's always going to talk. He's always going to be everywhere.
We got 5:25 remaining here in the second quarter. 35-31 still. Singapore Slingers keeping it low scoring and keeping it as a grind. Barkley over now to Ma Jun Hao.
Saigon in the zone.
And Barkley still can't score. Ma Jun Ha tracks it down. It's Alexander three-pointer. That is short. As here comes Saigon, but the pass is a little too high for Kwa Chan.
Unforced turnover, gotta hate it.
Matt Van Pelt saying, come on, play on, guys. Alexander now. That zone defense still very active for the Saigon Heat.
Singapore needs to get somebody in the middle.
Right, they do get it in terms of being in the middle. That's Barkley on the head fake, scores underneath.
Nice cut for getting his first basket. Good patience under the rim.
That lead has gone up to 6 right now. It's been a couple of minutes since Saigon had their last basket. And that was, of course, that three-pointer coming from Darius Holder. They get it inside. Tim Wall!
Nice high-low. Good pass. Good finish by Tim Wall.
Wall seldom takes shots, but when he does, he usually scores on them. We got 4:20 remaining here in the second quarter. 37 Singapore, 33 Saigon, and a steal by Evan Gilliard, and a touchdown. Oh! That was a denial there coming from Barkley. And we're going to have free throws coming up, but what a play by Kentrell. Barkley never gave up on the play.
Wow, that's an amazing effort to chase down Gilliard. You know, Gilliard's already fast.
Boy, Gilliard slowed down for just a moment, and there is that chase down by Barkley. Sort of reminds you of when Tayshaun Prince went up against Reggie Miller way back in 2002.
It does. Great block by Tayshaun Prince.
And now going to the free throw line. The Saigon Heat have not really been to the line a lot. Jeremy Combs. But when they do get to the line, you feel the crowd go quiet.
They get very, very quiet and go different. If anything else, they're going to be loud. Free throws, quiet. You can hear anything in here right now.
I remember we were doing a game in CIS when somebody's taking free throws. The only thing you'd hear were the voices of the announcers taking free throws. So we announcers had to be a little quieter when there were free throws coming up. But again, this is a great venue. After 4 minutes remaining, this will be the venue of the playoffs all throughout until its conclusion. That's an offensive foul called on Kelvin Lim, setting an early pick.
Like we talked about earlier, you got to make sure you set good picks and wait for the screens. It's about the ball handler and the person setting the screen.
Coach Neo not happy with that one. 37-35. Here come the Heat once again. And their biggest lead is actually at 3 points at 23-20. They're going to let Combs shoot the three. He's going to get it out to Kwa Chan with 9 to shoot. Chan getting it inside, and again a foul. It's going to be an offensive foul on Combs. And for Jeremy Combs, that's his second foul. Hassan Thomas is going to come in. Oh, check that. That's his third foul here, Coach.
Oh, it's his third foul. Oh, wow. Luckily, Saigon has more size to put in.
Wow, and he's still complaining about that call.
It's a tough call for the playoffs. We usually got to let him play a little bit, but that's a tough call.
And that was number 3, so we're going to have an extended rest for Jeremy Combs as they will zone all the way. They drop down to a 1-3-1. Kelvin Lim takes the 20-footer himself. That is short. Hassan Thomas gets the rebound. Gilliard pushing it up once again here for the Heat. Kwon Chan, 2 speedy guards now for Saigon. Get inside the holder, extra pass, the wall block from behind. Barkley with his second block of the game.
It's a tough play for Tim to finish right there with 2 imports on top of him. Usually a perfect turn and pass it back out right there.
Oh, you like the athleticism shown here by Kentrell Barkley with a chase down earlier and coming from behind to deny Wall. So now 12 seconds to shoot for the Heat. Wall finally accepts the inbounds pass. Gilliard, deep 3. And the rebound to Lim. Barkley, less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half. They move it around now to Geddes. Working against a smaller Tim Wall. Alexander, now watched by a much smaller Evan Gilliard, can't shoot over him. Barkley, another set shot 3. And Gilliard triggers the fast break once again. Kwon Chan on the lob pass over to Jarius Holder. Timeout Singapore. 37 all. What a play for Saigon. This crowd is loving it. We are going to step away for just a few moments. We will be back, of course, in just a bit. Stay with us. Check out the highlight play once again on transition there for the Saigon Heat. Kwon Chan finding Jarius Holder. And even if it's just a tied game, that brought the Grim Reaper to the venue.
Yeah, Saigon finally got on the fast break and completed 2-on-1 fast break with a nice lob over the top.
Again, anything, according to Matt Van Pelt, anything to get the crowd going, they are going to do. It's not every day that you are given home court advantage throughout the playoffs. And again, this is the best chance for Saigon to get it done. They have never won an ABL title. They have never even been to the finals. Singapore's been there 4 times, but never won a title. So a lot of narratives in this matchup, Coach.
There's a lot of variable. Now Singapore's going to try to come down and slow it down and get the shot they want. Try to take away Saigon's energy.
That timeout, of course, was meant to stop the momentum as we are tied at 37. 2:27 remaining here in the second. Kelvin Lim getting it to the left side now. Xavier Alexander can't score. Lim, that's his first miss. Battle for the rebound. Here's Kwon Chan. A chance now for Singapore. Or make that for the Saigon Heat to take the lead. Pull up. And there's the lead for Saigon.
Saigon, he's very, very tough on the guy in transition with Gilliard. Very hard to stop.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Saigon Heat have now scored 8 straight points to lead it 39-37, and there is the quell shot coming from Ma.
Finally got the corner shot to beat the zone.
Back to a 1-point lead now for the Slingers. They are just executing no end here. Move in, getting it out now to Kwon Chan. Gilliard, all sorts of space, and Evan Gilliard will score again. We're going to wait for it to be a little more quiet before we send it to Ben Ibrahim. But it is 42-40 right now. 1:20 remaining in the first half. Alexander still can't quiet the crowd, but Geddes does as we send it now to Ben.
Thanks very much, guys. And it's really funny that Geddes just got the basket because Geddes and Xavier Alexander were having words on the bench. Not negative words, but positive words. Spacing out and knowing where to box out, knowing where to position themselves in the paint when scoring. And that was justice done earlier. Just then, assistant coach and general manager Michael Johnson saying to Jackson Ma and saying to Calvin Lim, do not throw the ball away. Protect the ball. We do not want to spill it over and lead to turnovers. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ben Ibrahim. As we make that Ben Ibrahim as we segue into this timeout. Singapore Slingers have found a way to silence the crowd once again. They're up 45-42 with 51.7 remaining in the first half. The good news for Singapore is they still have the lead here, 45-42. The bad news, it's become a high-scoring affair.
Yes, sir. The Singapore Slingers coach called a great timeout after that lob play, that quad swing. They completed before a great timeout to calm down the team. They came out and responded well to him.
Now let's see how they respond off the Matt Van Pelt timeout. Talking about the Saigon Heat, they had the lead briefly. Look at the look on Kentrell Barkley's face. I mean, they want to win, and they want to win bad here on the road. You cannot fall 1-0 down in the best of 3 against the home team, that's for sure. Hassan Thomas getting it out now to Gilliard. Gilliard tries to create. Oh, what a crossover by Gilliard. Loops it in off the glass.
Outstanding move by Gilliard. Very crafty off the dribble.
45-44. The clocks are separated by about 9 seconds here. Geddes with 2 3-pointers already in the game. Barkley loses everyone, and there's a flopping warning against Gilliard as Barkley scores.
With a nice strong take to the rim.
47-44. Gilliard on the fake, working against 2 taller guys, throws it away. And trying to beat the game clock can't work. However, the Slingers are still in the lead at the end of the first 20 minutes of action. 47-44 against the number 1 seeded home team, the Saigon Heat. We'll have more from the Gwynju Stadium when we return. We're at the half, and we'll be right back.
for, give them what they came for. This is what they came for. Long shot, but I got the reach. Pop, lock, now I'm off the leash. Mic drop, I ain't gotta preach.
One-on-one, check ball.
You do know this is my house, right?
Yeah, it's my house too.
Take charge, no one can compete. I just do what comes natural. This is what they came for.
All right, folks, moments away from the start of the third quarter. It is 47-44 at the half in favor of the Singapore Slingers against the Saigon Heat. At this point, we send it over to Ben Ibrahim with this courtside interview.
We're here with Muhammad Amirul Miran. Amirul, that was a very, very tense first half. Tell us about what Coach Neo Beng Siang was saying in the locker room.
We were saying to just continue communicating, play our defense, and to always have energy on defense and offense.
One very simple answer. Is Singapore going to win this game today?
Oh, for sure. Singapore is going to win the whole playoff and the final.
Thank you very much, bro. Well, there you have it, guys. Back to you.
Muhammad Amirul, of course, has not played, but he was in the locker room when Coach Neo Beng Siang talked to the players right now. If you're Coach Neo, you're probably loving the 47-44 lead, but you know this mission isn't over. They were able to get that lead because, of course, Jeremy Combs sat down for a long spell with those 3 fouls.
If I was single, they should be happy with him right now, but to come out and start this third quarter, they need to pound the ball to the big fella and try to get one more foul on Combs to disrupt Saigon.
Well, we were looking at some of the numbers here. I mean, Singapore had 8 more attempts. They forced 4 more turnovers against the Saigon Heat. And the locals have really taken up the cudgels here for the Slingers.
The Slingers locals that came in and make open shots. They're not scared to shoot. If they're open, they take them and make shots.
Now, so far, of course, Singapore has played their brand of basketball. That's why they're up. Now, the question is, does Jeremy Combs start the third quarter with the 3 fouls?
If I was coaching this game, yes, I would start him. Got to go with your guns.
Yep. So we do see Holder come out. He won't. Yeah, it looks like Hassan Thomas is there. Winfu Vin.
Oh, he's getting worked on. Oh, he's coming out.
Oh, he's coming out. There you go. Jeremy Combs is starting, and a little bit of a smile here for Coach Matt Van Pelt. He knows this game isn't over. They're only down by 3. But again, is this a gamble, bringing in Jeremy Combs to start the third?
A little bit of a gamble, but I think you'll see them go to a 2-3 zone to save them.
That's exactly what they opened with here. Oh, Larry Liu took his eye off the ball, and Coach Neo Beng Siang has a migraine.
Next play, you can't even worry about it anymore.
Yeah, move on to the next play, but that was an unforced turnover that time.
It's like he didn't know the ball was in bounds or something.
Well, let's see how they bounce back from that one. That's not the best way to open the second half if you're the Singapore Slingers on the road with an unforced turnover. Here's Combs immediately attacking the defense, and he is right back to where he left off.
Nice strong move by Combs.
Jeremy Combs now up to 10 points in this game. He is the 3rd Saigon Heat in double figures. Cantrell Barkley gets the penetration.
I think we're going to look to see Barkley get himself going a little bit here.
13 in the game for Barkley. Lead 2 gentlemen in double figures right now. Chancellor Geddes is the other one for the Singapore Slingers, along with those 2 3-pointers. Here's Hassan Thomas. He has been quiet today. He's had that one dunk floater, not there. Rebound picked up here by Geddes. Chance of defense once again here inside the Win 2 Indoor Stadium in Ho Chi Minh. Delvin Gaw taking it strong. Pulls back now out to Xavier Alexander with 9 on the shot clock. Alexander steps into a 3-pointer. That is short.
Good rebound by Vin, coming back to rebound. He's doing a good job of rebounding the ball today.
So again, Vin has been playing a lot of minutes, talking about Vin Phuc. 3-pointer. Thomas still nothing from out there. He bricked that last one.
Thomas got to look to attack the basket. He's so athletic. Use that.
Again, he's still looking for his first 3-point field goal. There's Chancellor Geddes now giving Singapore a 5-point lead, 51-46.
Geddes with a nice big man, low seal, ran straight to the rim and sealed him. No, he knows Combs doesn't want to foul.
That's right, 12 points, highly efficient game so far for Chancellor Geddes. We come up on 8 minutes remaining here. 3-pointer on its way, another one! That's the 4th of the game for Jarius Holder.
Holder gets his feet set. Almost counted every time.
And now, 18 in the game for Holder. The game high scorer. 51-49 now for the Slingers. Larry Liu left open once again. You can't leave him that much space.
Back and forth they go. Great pass, great shot. These teams are battling out there.
Looks like they're just going to give him a 2-point field goal on that one. 53-49 is our score. Holder, this is obviously a three, but it's a miss. Out of nowhere for the rebound. Combs challenging Geddes. Good defense by Geddes. They get it out. Move in, three-pointer. Good!
That's what the big fella does.
Just like that, the lead is cut down to just one. Liu, Geddes, 9 to shoot. Poked away, almost lost it. Oh, they're gonna say Geddes touched it last.
Great defensive effort by Holder right there.
Again, Jarius Holder has been the most aggressive so far. Evan Gilliard tried to be that in the first half, but so far it's been the heroics now of Jarius Holder, who has kept Saigon in this game. And now a chance to reclaim the lead for the Heat. Gilliard against Barkley. Thomas now. They move it over to Holder for the lead. Good! 5 3-pointers in the game, Coach.
Amazing shot by Holder. He knew he was going to shoot it even before he caught it.
21 points and the lead for Saigon. Alexander airballs this one. Liu tries to save it. And now off and running once again. Evan Gilliard pulls back, can't shoot. As we approach the 6-minute mark here in the third, Gilliard is going to be fouled on the ground. That foul is given up by Larry Liu. 55-53.
You can feel Saigon trying to get the momentum back.
Well, it has been the Holder show so far for the Saigon Heat. Gilliard gets it over now to Hassan Thomas. And he's still having trouble scoring. And a wedgie. Gonna have the jump ball possession arrow is gonna stay with the Saigon Heat.
Geddes with a great challenge at the rim. Big fella challenges everything.
But again, you get the sense that Hassan Thomas has been rushing his shots here, Coach.
Yeah, you gotta relax a little bit, take his time down there. Don't worry about the big guy. He's so athletic. He could try to go dunk that if he really wanted to.
Noise level has gone up once again. Move in, another three. Move in, another three. Now the biggest lead of the game for Saigon. Timeout Singapore. 58-53 for the Heat. We'll be right back. Winthrop Finn has sent this crowd into a frenzy with that last three-pointer. We were actually watching the replay. It's like he's taking free throws out at the three-point line.
Yeah, he's a big guy. All you got to do is flick his wrist. He has a beautiful form. He shoots the same way every time. He's a nice shooter.
Now a 5-point lead for the Heat. They don't want to come from behind. They want to get the win or the big lead as early as now. Of course, Singapore will have an answer to that one. Larry Liu is coming off the Neo Bang Shaq timeout. An early one here with 5:37 remaining in the third. Barkley, Alexander now putting it on the floor. X getting inside, good position, and X just beats the shot clock. What a veteran.
Smart move, knew the shot clock the whole time, got to where he wanted to be to win him strong.
Xavier McDaniel now, Xavier Alexander. Xavier McDaniel's already retired. Xavier Alexander with 9 in the game. 58-55, Gilliard drops it inside. Oh, Fufin gets blocked by the rim. Now gets blocked by Barkley.
Now he rushed it down there. Thought that.
Geddes, they'll run the offense. Barkley on the crossover. Alexander momentarily open. They get it down to Geddes in the post. There's that hook shot once again, and he's still having problems with it.
Got a good shot. Got to make that one.
He's missed 3 hook shots already today. Entry pass now for Combs. They get it out. Here's Nguyen Phu Vinh once again. Offline this time. Barkley. All sorts of space. Off the glass. What a shot by Kentrell Barkley.
Amazing shot by Barkley. He's trying to get that 4th foul, and Combs went right at him.
58-57. It has been trimmed down to 1 once again. Saigon. Oh, that's going to be a big foul there. Coming on Barkley, who immediately goes over to Evan Gilliard to see if he's okay. Evan Gilliard reminds me a lot of Earl Boykins, the way he plays, right?
Yes, he does. Very low to the ground, herky-jerky, hard to guard.
I mean, you can't stop what you can't catch, right?
Yeah.
Ben Ibrahim, what do you have?
What I have right here, guys, is that Matt Van Pelt is asking questions to his Saigon Heat. He's asking question number 1, why are the Singapore Slingers so open to get some easy shots? And then he said, get the ball to JR Holder from the outside. He can knock him down. Do that, and we will maintain this momentum. And also, Nguyen Phu Vinh is really, really heating up, spotting up from those deep, those 3-point corners. Get it to him as well. Instructions from Coach Matt Van Pelt. Over back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ben. And this time they take it strong. Holder has been the key right now, but they are now looking at this 6'9" kid, Nguyen Phu Vinh. I mean, he's just amazing when he has the ball. It's a quick release, too.
It's quick release. You could tell he's really worked on his jump shot. He's tall, shooting with a high arc. It's very, very hard to block his shot. Once he gets to the top of his game.
Well, Jeremy Combs adds to his total. He's got 11 in the game and also adds to the Saigon Heat lead at 59-57. Still 4:11 remaining in this very close semifinal matchup. If you're wondering who won the first game, it was Hong Kong Eastern, won by a mile against the NS Matrix squad. Of course, game 2 of that series, and this one is this coming Wednesday, still here in this building. Alexander now. Chance for Singapore to tie or take the lead. Barkley swings it over. Larry Liu, another 3. That one is offline. Thomas, Gilliard, Holder, transition 3. No. Combs out of nowhere. And he gets blocked by Delvin Gaw. And here come the Slingers going the other way. Alexander puts it on the floor once again. And he is going to get to the free throw line. I mean, it's so great to have a veteran like Xavier Alexander who knows how to quiet the crowd.
Alexander is so tough in a fast break situation. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He wants contact the whole time to get some free throws.
Xavier Alexander named one of the 10 best imports in the history of the ASEAN Basketball League. Actually, 2 Singapore players made the list, and one of the locals, of course, Wong Wei Long, was named one of the 10 greatest players in the ABL. Xavier Alexander.
Cool, calm, and collected, always under pressure. He knows what he's doing.
And again, Singapore is just hanging in there. I mean, they had a 7-point lead at one point. They're playing catch-up right now. But if there's any team that knows how to come back from a big lead, it is the Slingers. Crowd starting to affect the free throw shooting now of X. Heat up by 1. 3 of 27 remaining. Here in the third, away from play, hold on. Looks like we have a shot clock issue. Shot clock did not start in time. They're going to put it to the correct setting, which should be about 18 seconds or 17 seconds at this point. There's the brain trust there. Coach Matt Van Pelt, of course, in the suit. I mean, he was a heady player. There was a lot of comparison between Matt Van Pelt and the guard from Orlando, whose name escapes me right now, in terms of dishing out the assists, in terms of creating plays.
Yeah, they played very similar. When Matt played, Matt was a great point guard. He'll score if he had to, but he was playing around such great players. Steve Chambers, Mark it down. It was easy. So if he was open, he'll pass it to him. Now he'll take a good shot. Very, very smart player, Matt Van Pelt, when he played.
Good transition into coaching as well. He's engineered the Saigon Heat to be the #1 seed in these playoffs. Entry pass right now. Oh, that's a little too high, though. Not quite sure what Combs had in mind when he was trying to pass it off to Thomas.
He's got to take his time. Should have landed on 2 feet, looked around and see what he had. I think he had Fu Bin wide open from 3.
3 minutes and 17 remaining in the third. Just a 1-point lead for the Heat. Xavier Alexander inside. Chancellor Getty's quick release. Good defense there by Thomas, but they cannot hold on to the ball. 4 white shirts contesting it that time, Coach.
You got to grab that one. Got to grab it. Getty's still short on his hook shot. He usually makes those.
Was that?
Getty's is still short on his hook shot. He usually makes those hook shots.
Yeah, exactly. I know he's over 4 with that hook shot, but that's usually his most reliable shot. Now they lob it inside to Getty's, and that's a really great play off the inbounds.
Great play. Nice pass by Alexander. Knew exactly what they wanted to do.
Just like that, now the Singapore Slingers have reclaimed the lead, 60-59. And Gilliard hemmed in, tries to escape, gets it off to Thomas, who was shooting it before he caught it, and luckily for the Heat, they still have possession with 8.4 remaining on the shot clock.
Yeah, you're right. I think he tried to shoot it before he caught it. Nice pass by Gilliard.
How many times have you had that problem, Coach?
You try to make sure you get the ball up.
That's right, that's right. Still have time though, 8.4. Win getting it out. Gilliard, his pass is batted out. And a Dirk Nowitzki-like fall away does not work for Combs. And the grind continues for the Slingers here with 2:33 remaining. They really want to slow this game down. Alexander, Larry Liu, top of the key, long 2, not there. And Wynn getting another rebound. That's going to be a blocking foul on Liu. Neither team in the penalty, although that is the 4th team foul for Singapore.
Yeah, Liu was just trying to stop the fast break.
That's called a duty foul by Larry Liu. And that will be foul number 3 on the veteran as Barkley's going to take a breather. That is Thomas and Gilliard checking out at this moment. Kwon Chan back in. Pick and roll action. Extra pass to Kwon Chan, who has not yet scored here today. Getting it out. Win Fu Bin once again. Yeah!
The big fella knows his role. He opens, he shoots it.
That's his 3rd three-pointer in the game.
In the 3rd quarter. He got 3 in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, we got less than 2 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. Heat once again on top. 62-60. Barkley wants it back. Can't get it back. Cole lost the rebound. Kwon Chan on the outlet pass now. Jeremy Combs. Oh! Again, the recovery coming from Barkley, and he never touched it. So it'll go back to Singapore.
What a great play. That's an outstanding hustle by him, Barkley.
Barkley coming back to bother that dunk.
I think it's like a 3rd chase down block today.
Right. Getty's already with 2 3-pointers across his name. Fakes the pass to Ma. 3-pointer on its way. That's his 3rd in the game.
Combs backed off him trying to stop the Alexander postseason. Big fella stepped right into it and made a great shot.
How about 17 in the game? A team high score for Chancellor Getty's, including 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. Win Fu Bin. Step back 3. Not this time. Battle for the rebound. Long one picked up by Delvin Goal. A minute to go here in the 3rd. Singapore 63, Saigon 62. Getty's once again on the post up. Does not attract the double team. Gets it out. Ma Jun Hao, 3-pointer, no. Gilliard tracks it down. On the crossover. Gilliard can't lose anybody, but still finds a way to get it done.
Wow, what an amazing move, man. Got stopped first, but up and under got him to the rim.
Never giving up. Gilliard gives the lead back to the Heat. 64-63. Lob pass inside. Alexander blocked from behind. Battle for the loose ball. Saved by Barkley. And Delvin Go says, let's go once again. 9 on the shot clock. Ma Jun Hao. 3-pointer is there for the Singapore Slingers.
Singapore Slingers just keep playing with poise every single time.
Final seconds of the 3rd. Gilliard knows it. Gilliard drives. He has got blocked this time. And that's going to do it for quarter number 3 as the Singapore Slingers have reclaimed the lead 66-64. We are up for an amazing finish to this one as we have the 4th quarter when we return. Well, you can see on your screens right now, Evan Gilliard took a spill towards the end of that third quarter, hit his head hard. It looks like he's still a little disoriented where he is right now, Coach Jordan.
Yeah, he's just trying. I think he's just trying to get himself together. Probably a little dizzy. Be back. I think he'll be back, and he's a tough competitor.
Again, Singapore had the lead, and Saigon had the lead, and again Singapore found a way to reclaim the lead as we brace ourselves for an exciting finish to this one. Noel Zarate still working alongside Coach Jordan Collins and Ben Ibrahim. This is day one of the playoffs, game one of this series. Of course, game two happens this coming Wednesday. Barkley to open things up now for Singapore. Alexander still working against the zone. Barkley three-pointer. And the battle for the rebound picked up by the Heat. Barkley has been struggling from the outside.
Yeah, he's been struggling. I think he'll keep staying with it.
But
that's very lucky leaving him wide open like that.
Right, and that's what the play calls for anyway. Another transition opportunity here. Geddes gets it. Geddes will finish. 68-64. Singapore Slingers trying to quiet the crowd in every opportunity. Jeremy Combs has not picked up his fourth foul, but picks up another score.
Nice move by Combs, very aggressive. Got nice ball skills for a big guy.
13 in the game now for Jeremy Combs. 68-66 Singapore. Just over a minute gone by here at quarter number 4. Delvin Goal working against Nguyen. Gets all sorts of space inside. Wow.
Strong move, good one-on-one move right there. Strong play.
One of the best post players in the league. Makes his mark once again for the Slingers. 70-66. Hua Chan getting some extended minutes in this one. Pick and roll action between him and Jeremy Combs, who gets blocked from behind by Geddes. Here comes Barkley now on the attack. One man to beat. Barkley on the stretch, and he scores. Timeout called by the Saigon Heat, and suddenly the Slingers are up 72-66. But before we go into this timeout, we bring in Ben Ibrahim.
Thanks, guys. Evan Gilliard hit the deck pretty hard there earlier. Even though the assistant coach of the Saigon Heat says he's okay, it looks like he needs a couple of minutes. He's really putting a towel in his face, trying to get some ice and trying to get his vision back. So more about that a little bit later. Matt Van Pelt telling the Saigon Heat players, stop Xavier Alexander. On the other hand, Coach Neo Beng Siang saying, okay, no Evan Gilliard, no pace, sending Delvin Go for some more rim protection and some more damage down the lane. So that's the plan. Let's see how it pans out. As like you said, Noel, the Singapore Slingers up 6. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Ben. Of course, it was an immediate impact there for Delvin Go as he was able to score underneath. But again, that's concerning here for Evan Gilliard. If he needs a few minutes to regain his balance, I'm not quite sure if you were able to hit your head on the floor hard when you were still playing Coach Jordan Collins. But if you did, what's that like?
He got the shot. He hit the floor pretty hard, but I think he'll come back in. I'm not sure he's going to be the same player or the same. He still looks a little woozy. But he's going to try to get it because he knows his team needs him.
Well, he is still trying to shake off the effects of that fall to end the third quarter, but he is back in the game. Evan Gilliard, one of the heroes the last time these two teams met right here, was a 3-point win by the by Saigon against Singapore. Gilliard tries to lose Alexander. No look pass inside to Hassan Thomas.
Looks pretty good to me.
Didn't need his eyes to find Thomas that time. 72-68. Lead trimmed to 4 once again, but the Slingers have maintained this kind of tempo throughout the entire game. Barkley to Ma. Now over to Geddes, working against a smaller Hassan Thomas, almost strips him. Lost the ball. Evan Gilliard picks it up. And they go over number Combs! Slam dunk! Back-to-back baskets now for the Heat.
He's coming right back at him.
Big pick set that time by Geddes. A fake by Ma. He drives, lost the ball! And here comes the Heat. Gilliard for the lead. And the battle for the rebound secured by Barkley. Boy, yeah,
Great hustle by Barkley to get back. That three-pointer would have tore the roof off of this play.
He doesn't really have to score to become effective. Alexander, less than 7 minutes remaining in regulation. Geddes has not missed from beyond the arc. Picks up his dribble with 2 to shoot. He's got to put it up. And a bailout foul with 1.7 remaining. Thomas caught hugging Barkley.
Silly foul.
I mean, Hassan Thomas wears the jersey number 10. I think I know who his favorite player is. He used to play for the Detroit Pistons wearing that number. Trying to be aggressive, but with 1.7 seconds remaining, they were that close to forcing a shot clock violation. Here come the Thundersticks. Here's Liu. Barkley gets the pick. They try to run the pick and roll. Read well by the defense. And to the front court. Here is Combs. Oh, great defense by Geddes. Here comes Liu now leading a 3-on-2. Liu. Oh, that's a traveling violation against Singapore.
Geddes has a cramp.
Geddes is walking gingerly right now. Yeah, you're right. It looks like it might be a cramp. And that's the worst one when it goes all the way up to your calves. Have you ever had those kind of cramps? That's really terrible.
Yeah, I've had cramps. It's hard to get over a cramp. You don't have a lot of time to get through it during the game.
Yeah, he is really in pain right now. They need to get Geddes out of the game. Remember that these teams were out 2 to 3 weeks because it was a long break between the preliminary round and the playoffs. Geddes is trying to walk it off. I think, yeah, he's still staying in the game, Coach.
The referees didn't allow the timeout.
Yeah, you can't have a timeout. They're going to have to foul to stop the clock right now. Geddes is in pain. Going to spread the floor. Try to get the ball into Combs at the post. Combs on the pick. They go to the other side. Thomas, yes. 6 unanswered points, and there's the timeout finally for Neo Big Shaq.
They both make runs back and forth from each other. Saigon makes a run. Singapore Slingers make a run. Back and forth they go.
Well, we are tied right now at 72. Timeout called by Singapore. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Time down to 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. How close has this game been? We are tied at 72. Noel Zadat is still working alongside Coach Jordan Collins, and Ben Ibrahim has been patrolling the sidelines. Game 1 of the playoffs, of course. Game 1 of the semifinals. Game 2 is this coming Wednesday. But now it's going to be down to a question of health at this point. Gilliard shaken up earlier, and now Geddes with the cramps. He's back on. I'm not quite sure if he's going to stay on, though.
Yeah. You has to be out there to play defense on Gilliard on the pick and rolls.
Well, Alexander gets it out. Geddes, that's his first miss from beyond the arc, but nobody boxing out Delvin Go, and that is foul number 4 on Jeremy Combs.
Nobody backs up Delvin Go right there. Snuck in and got the rebound.
Bad news for the Heat, as their number 1 big man is now become an endangered species here. So still tied at 72, and they're still on defense. Barkley against Thomas. Shot clock now at 5. Geddes tries another 3, and he gets it to go again.
Big fellas, both big fellas out there spacing the floor for both teams. Great shot by Geddes.
Reminds you now of Brook Lopez, the way he's playing out there.
Yes, sir. Inside out.
75, 72. And Holder can't answer. Ben Ibrahim is right here. Go ahead, Ben.
Yep, CJ Geddes, he just got severely knocked right there. The team monsieur, the Singapore Slingers, just gave it a bit of deep heat. So he's walking gingerly, but he hit a big shot. So let's see what happens in the meantime for the Saigon Heat. They've got to hit those shots. Matt Van Pelt saying they're going to get some open looks like they are right now. Back to you guys.
Well, Larry Liu just hit a big one there, Ben. And this lead is now extended to 6 points, 78 to 72. Other players now have to get involved. Gilliard has been quiet in the second half. Get it out, Kwon Chan. Yeah!
Kwon Chan with a big shot. They needed that one.
They did. That's his first field goal. It's down to 3. Still a lot of time remaining, though. 4 and 20 remaining. Yu hit a big 3 just a few moments ago. He's got 10 in the game. Goal providing the pick now for Barkley. Barkley on the drive. Can't get it to go. And the rebound picked up by the Heat. Once again, a spin by Gilliard. And Gilliard goes all the way!
Back and forth they go.
Evan Gilliard has cut the lead down to 1. 5 unanswered points now for the Heat. Less than 4 minutes remaining. Cole facing up. They sag on him. Now he backs down Combs trying to look for that 5th foul. Liu another 3. Larry Liu again. And we're going to have a foul underneath. But that 3 is going to drop for Liu. That's his 3rd in the game. And a foul on Kwon Chan.
Oh, wow.
That means Singapore gets the ball back here, Coach Jordan. So from one heroic play to a play that could be a game changer at this point with 3:37 to go.
That score right here could be a 5 or 6 point turnaround if they get the bucket.
And Barkley does get the bucket.
5-point play right there.
Quick timeout here by Matt Van Pelt. That lead has gone up to 6 once again. 83 to 77, and Coach Matt is on the floor. That's going to be a technical foul on Matt Van Pelt. We just talked about the fact that we don't see him get a technical foul. Yeah. He walks on the floor.
He must have been very upset with that call against Kwon Chan.
Well, we have this timeout. We'll be back. Stay with us. '83 to 77, the crowd momentarily silenced by the turn of events. We have a technical foul on Coach Matt Van Pelt for entering the court. Cantrell Barkley will make this now a 7-point lead to match the biggest lead of the game here for the Slingers, but more importantly for Singapore, as they have momentum clearly on their side after that incident.
A great momentum play, the 3-pointer and one, the layup. See how Saigon bounces back. I think they're going to go to Gilliard. They're going to go to Gilliard right here. I think he's going to get it.
So here is Hassan Thomas. Kwon Chan with a cut. Get it out now to Combs for 3. Probably not the shot they wanted coming out of that timeout.
You want to get the ball to your best player. He can make that shot, but I think Gilliard should have the ball at that point in time.
Alexander. Can the Slingers do it? Can they win on the road? Still a lot of time. 3 minutes, 2 seconds to go. Alexander gets the first step, and Kwon Chan had to give up the foul. I mean, talk about splitting the defense. Alexander got it done, and he's got 2 free throws.
Yeah, he saw his lane and took. I thought they were going to double team. He said they were kind of hesitant what they were going to do, and Alexander just split it. They're lucky he didn't make the and one play.
Yeah, I mean, nobody tried to stop him at the rim as we see this again. Splits the defense. I mean, of course, Jeremy Combs is so afraid of picking up his 5th foul, he couldn't even help out.
Very smart play by Alexander.
And X has been consistent. He's only missed 2 free throws today. 11 in the game. Alexander now giving Singapore their largest lead of the game. Now, if you remember, just a few weeks ago, Singapore had an 8-point lead, pretty much like this, with about this much time remaining, and Saigon still won the game. Let's see if they can still pull off those heroics. Pick and roll action right now. Combs on the stretch, can't score. Geddes with a rebound.
Not the shot he wanted. Geddes just played solid defense.
And Geddes, of course, surviving the cramps. He is still walking gingerly at this point. Those cramps might not have gone away yet, but he's putting up a yeoman's effort, trying to protect the rim. Barkley, Geddes, another 3. No. 2 and 24 remaining, 85-77 Singapore.
Geddes is still hobbling on that leg.
Gilliard trying to go for the home run, but he missed it.
Got to get a better shot than that. Attack the rim. Make sure you get something good.
Yeah.
Singapore taking their time now.
Alexander's going to set this one up to Barkley. 9 seconds, 2 minutes remaining. Liu, open again. Larry Liu, short this time, but they get the rebound.
Big rebound.
One more time around, another opportunity to waste some precious seconds off the clock for the Slingers. 4 on the shot clock. Geddes puts it on the floor this time. His hook shot finally drops.
Big shot by Big Fella. He's cramping up though. He can't get back.
That's a 5-on-4 going the other way. Here's Thomas, and they're going to allow him to score, but he can't. Battle for the rebound picked up here by Barkley, and Barkley's going to go up. Fouled by Nguyen. Barkley looks like he's hurt as well. They allowed Thomas to shoot the layup, and he missed. Now, Coach Neo Beng Siak is looking for an unsportsmanlike foul. Let's see if they review this.
Did he make a play on the ball? He went for the ball. It's a sportsmanlike.
Yeah.
He went for the ball.
Contact, and I think Barkley twisted his ankle on the way down.
Definitely a 2-shot foul. Not intentional. He went for the ball.
But he's still down, though. Coach Neo is asking if his physician can go over to check on the condition here of Barkley. Looks like he's still pointing to that left ankle. They will review this, apparently, Coach Jordan Collins, because we are under the last 2 minutes of regulation, so they can upgrade this foul if they see fit. They have called it a common foul at this moment, but the referees will take a look. If anything malicious happened on that last play, it didn't look like there was.
It didn't look like it was anything malicious. I think he just came down awkwardly and rolled his ankle.
The bump came way before. That's why Nguyen Phu Vinh was actually saying that I fouled him on the ground. Now, Barkley has to be helped off the floor. This is not good news heading into game number 2 for Singapore.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Quick turnaround, 2, 1 day.
And the crowd here in Ho Chi Minh respecting the efforts of Kentrell Barkley, giving him the applause as he's helped to the bench, but he can't even put weight on that left foot right now. And you know those injuries, that's going to swell up a little later on today.
Now it's going to swell up. Now I hope he has to get ice and keep it elevated, but it's definitely going to swell up. As soon as he puts his foot down, it's going to swell. He has to get the elevator right now.
Right. That could make him, he's out of the game right now. I don't think he's going to come back.
He's done for the game.
Looks like he's done here today. Now Geddes is also suffering from the cramps, but he's playing through it. So the replacement was Ma Jun Hao, and he's going to take the free throws on behalf of the fallen Kentrell Barkley. Ice.
Big shot.
I mean, this guy's one of the young players here in the Slingers. Responding well to the pressure now, upping the lead to 11. 12-point lead, the largest now for the Singapore Slingers, and Matt Van Pelt is going to use his final timeout with a score at 89 for the visitors, 77 for the Heat. We'll step away and be back in a moment. Cantrell Barkley, they're working on him in the sidelines. He's not going to be coming back into this game, that's for sure. But the question is, does he play in game 2? We'll have to see first what the conclusion of this game is going to be. The lead is 12 for Singapore. Looks like they have it pretty much in the bag. Let's see if Gilliard can want to change that. And he starts to come back with a 3.
Big shot by Gilliard. Here they come. Saigon's going to press a little bit.
Trying to force a turnover here. I don't think you want Combs to be guarding Alexander out there. He's got 4 fouls. Delvin Go. Now to Alexander. Sees an opening. Gets it out. Ma Jun Hao, 3-pointer. Not there. Rebound picked up by Thomas. This game ain't over yet.
Here they come.
Gilliard again.
Gilliard's very dynamic.
Gilliard again. And the rebound picked up here by Combs. They get it out to Gilliard. Boy, Holder's asking for it. Gilliard open, top of the key. He's trying, but they're just not falling at this point, Coach Jordan.
Gotta take good shots. He thought he was feeling it.
They are gonna waste the time.
They're trying to foul.
And they do foul Larry Liu, who's actually an 80% free throw shooter.
Got to be careful in that situation. You always got to make sure you go for the ball.
I'm looking at the team fouls right now. Singapore has not committed a single foul in the fourth.
It's 6-0 right now.
Larry Liu. What a big game from the veteran here today. Makes his first free throw. Liu now up to 14 points to lead the local charge. We were talking about this at the half. The locals have contributed heavily for Singapore.
It's been a team effort. It's not just the import players. Everybody does their part.
Hua Chan's going to come back in. Thomas checks out.
Saigon needs shooting at this point.
Well, they're down 11 with 29.3 remaining. I mean, that's mathematically possible, but that's highly improbable at this point. With no more timeouts remaining as well.
From Singapore, just don't foul.
Gilliard gets a layup. And Singapore, almost had the turnover, but that's going to be it for Jeremy Combs. He's out of the game. Back to the drawing board here for Matt Van Pelt on a 2-day turnaround. Coach Jordan Collins, what do you tell the Heat heading into game 2?
They got to focus and lock in. They got to understand their play against a Singapore team that's very solid and disciplined, and they have to take advantage of the opportunities they get. They missed a couple of layups they should have made. They rushed a couple of shots. Very winnable game for both teams. These teams are very evenly matched. I know the score is going to be bigger than what it's supposed to be, but this was a very, very tight game.
And of course, the foul trouble on Jeremy Combs, that also spelled the difference in this game.
Yeah, he got 3 fouls in the third quarter. They had to take him out.
Larry Liu turning back the hands of time with 17 points. And we're going to have a sub come in right now for the Saigon Heat.
Geddes is done for the day.
So again, the final 16.4 in this one. Singapore is going to take game 1 of this best-of-3 semifinal series. Gilliard, dribbling violation called. And with 11.3 seconds, all Singapore has to do is get the ball across. And this will be the largest win by either team in this series. Remember, Singapore won by 1 in their first encounter, but Saigon won by 3 in this building. And X is going to get fouled. He's going to be sent to the free throw line.
Yeah. They're working on their free throws at this point.
Xavier Alexander, a quiet 11 points, but an efficient all-around game for the legend, the ABL legend.
Absolutely, I think he did. He may even had a double-double tonight. He did everything. He did whatever the team called for. Smart-headed player.
But what a great game plan for Coach Neo, keeping it low-scoring, and then suddenly towards the end, they win it in a high-scoring fashion by 11 points at this point, make that 12.
Yeah, they almost have 100 points. I don't think they expected to get 100 points today, almost 100.
I didn't expect that they'd be actually this high up, and Gilliard's just going to hang on to the ball as the seconds tick away in this one. The Singapore Slingers still get the applause from the fans here, but they have now pushed Saigon to the brink with this 94-82 victory. Game 2 is on Wednesday. Quick turnaround here for Matt Van Pelt. A lot of pressure now on the Heat.
A lot of pressure on the Heat, but they can still do. This was a big-time win by the Singapore Slingers. The Heat have to rebound. They were up. They have the home court advantage took it from them, but they still have it. They still have the Saigon Heat. The stands will still be home Wednesday. They deter and support them, so they still have the energy.
Big question now. Cantrell Barkley couldn't even put weight on his left foot. Will he be in the lineup this coming Wednesday? That is the big question here, Coach.
I think he'll be getting a lot of rehab tonight and tomorrow. I don't think he'll do anything tomorrow. They try to get him ready for Wednesday.
Big game by Larry Liu. Look at that. I'm looking over at Cantrell Barkley. Now he can walk. That's a good sign. That thing's going to swell up tonight. He's got 1 day to rest it. Let's see if he's going to be ready for game number 2 as Ben Ibrahim is going to be talking to one of our key players of the game, of course, the legend, Xavier Alexander. But before that, we have some highlights from this game that just finished. Once again, the Singapore Slingers finally defeating the Saigon Heat in this building. But this ain't over. The team that gets 2 wins moves on to the finals, and that game number 2 is happening this coming Wednesday. So let's see if Ben Ibrahim is ready already downstairs. We're going to look at some of the stats after a few of these highlights here as well, Coach Jordan. And again, it was really the second half that spelled the difference here. Everybody started to have health issues with cramps and injuries, but it was still a great execution for the Singapore Slingers.
I mean, it was a game of runs. They were both making the runs with each other, back and forth, within the last.
All right, we now have Ben Ibrahim with Xavier Alexander. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, we're here with Xavier Alexander, aka XX. Great win, but you really had to grind that out for 4 hard quarters.
Yeah, man, I think our team, we're one of the teams that's going to continue to get better throughout the season, and we showed that tonight. We showed poise. We didn't let the crowd bother us, and we were able to come away with the win.
Now, that came at a bit of an expense. CJ Geddes and Cantrell Barkley carrying some injuries towards the end of the game. What can you tell us right now?
I can tell you those 2 guys are warriors, man. They want this more than anything. So come on the 8th, I feel like you'll see both of them.
So you got some time to rest up. What's the game plan right now in terms of recovery, adjustments, and film?
Hey, just rest, man. Rest. Get our fluids back up, get guys healthy, and then come back at it in 2 days.
All the best for game 2, X. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you get a good rest. So, what a game, everybody, for the second game of today. These Singapore Slingers, despite the heavy noise of the Saigon Heat fans, really came out victorious and gave us all a great game. Well done to these 2 teams, and well done to the other 2 teams, the Hong Kong Eastern and the NS Matrix as well. We'll take a 24-hour rest, but on Wednesday, the 8th of March, we're back, same time, 6 o'clock, Hong Kong versus Matrix, and then at 8 o'clock, Singapore versus the Saigon Heat on Wednesday, the 8th of March. I'm Ben Ibrahim, your courtside reporter, and on behalf of the commentators and everybody here at the ASEAN Basketball League, have a great night, and we'll see you in the next 48 hours for Game 2 of the ASEAN Basketball League semifinals. Take care.
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.